The Bitcoin price is still compressing, and just like I forecasted yesterday, we exactly grabbed the liquidity on the lower side, and now the forecast is that we're going to grab the liquidity on the top side. So I'm going to be discussing the most important charts and patterns that are telling us something about what Bitcoin is currently creating and what likely is going to be happening next year. All will be discussed on today's update video, including the most important fractals, patterns, and much more important indicators which are currently flashing. So without any further ado, guys, this video will be once again packed with information about Ethereum, about Bitcoin. So don't forget to once again slap that like button back above 1,000 likes will be highly appreciated. And with that being said, let me jump straight away into towards today's update video. So first of all, Bitcoin, there is not a lot of stuff happening, but in these moments where not a lot of stuff is happening, you should be preparing for the next major move here. And of course, in yesterday's video, I exactly talked about, of course, there was a major amount of liquidity on the lower side laying, and that it was actually likely that we're going to grab out that liquidity, and that was, of course, exactly what happened. Bitcoin moved down, squeezed out about $200 million in Bitcoin long positions, and only after that, it bounced back towards the upside. But of course, it happened due to the fact that we had the CPI data. Of course, it came in hotter than expected. The market dumped ever so slightly, but if we're going to be looking back at, let's say, the last 6 times we did got the CPI data, actually every single time whenever we got it, it marked the bottom, and Bitcoin went only higher afterwards. So that is actually a very interesting thing, what we have seen in all the previous occasions. Does it really have to happen again here? Of course, we're not certain about it, but it's pretty interesting to see that literally every single time after the CPI, we go towards the upside. And yes, previous times it has also came in hotter than expected, and still the market moved higher. And really, if we're looking at Bitcoin right now here, of course, outside the fact that we are in this boring consolidation phase, Bitcoin is not really doing anything. All I'm currently looking at is just a price squeezing right now here. The price is creating on the top side lower highs every single time. And on the lower side, we are creating the exact opposite. We're creating higher lows every single time here. So basically what Bitcoin is doing is that it is creating a major compression pattern. And whenever such kind of a compression pattern is, of course, going to be breaking out here, we are going to see that next major move here. And that is why I want to have you prepared here. Because yes, at these moments of time, guys, this is really where you can get the best trades in here, because Bitcoin is right now still not volatile, but it is about to be having a volatile breakout. And really, on what direction I think Bitcoin is going to move towards will be just really depend whether we are, of course, going to be breaking below the upward sloping support line or whether we're going to be breaking below the downward sloping resistance line on the top side. So if we break above the highs, we're most likely going to see a bigger continuation higher. If we break below the lows, guys, then we're probably going to see a bigger continuation towards the lower side. It's a very simple continuation where we're currently sitting in, and that is just how you can trade it. And here on the daily time frame, I mean, Bitcoin is still retesting the daily support, and if we would break it, it would be quite bad, of course, for the market in a bigger perspective. But of course, maybe. But of course, then we're just going to be looking at some lower targets that are sitting below us. But basically, all in all, Bitcoin is consolidating already for over 3 months in a row right now here, which is, of course, quite long if you would ask me here. So right now as well, if we're going to compare this cycle towards the 2017 cycle, you've also seen many consolidation after we broke above the previous all-time high, and that is just a very normal thing to be seeing here. And also, if we're going to be looking at the market sentiment index, guys, the market sentiment is horrible. Everyone thinks the market is topped out. Everyone thinks it is over. But of course, like you can see in 2021, 2017, this also exactly happened. And of course, every single time that did happen, it didn't mark the top here. It actually marked the bottom before we went, of course, in another major move higher. So really, the market is right now quite tricky indeed here, but of course, if everyone is selling, if everyone is bearish, of course, I will become very bullish. So here also on the bigger perspective, on the weekly time frame, you can see that we're creating basically a major consolidation phase after the breakout of the bull flag pattern. And of course, the bull flag pattern price target is not reached yet here. And ultimately, I still think my price targets for this bull market are laying around 140 towards 130,000 US dollars. And I do still think it is going to be likely that we're going to reach it. But I don't think we're going to go much, much higher than that here. So, of course, whenever I also see patterns and signals occurring in the market that the market is potentially topping out here, you will be the first one to know on the channel. Because whenever the market is topping out, you, of course, want to get out of the market. But I do believe that right now still, that is not not the case yet. Of course, if we do potentially see some breakdowns of these very important patterns, I will notify you all about the targets where I think Bitcoin is going to be heading towards and how we are exactly going to be trading that. So if you are interested in trading and if you are like looking for that next major breakout on Bitcoin, which I'm currently also doing, I'm just looking at the price. And of course, whenever I do see the confirmation whether we're going to be moving back towards the upside or potentially even lower, guys, I'm going to be opening up a slight little Bitcoin long position. I'm already in an Ethereum long position because I do believe that Ethereum on this very strong legendary support line is, in my opinion, a very good buy here. Of course, always do your own research. But guys, if you are interested in trading, don't forget to check out Blofin in the link description of today's video, because Blofin allows you to trade with leverage on Bitcoin and crypto and other assets. And yeah, if you, of course, can spot the right trends, you can make a ton of money from using this here. I mean, this is literally how I made my initial wealth here. And guys, if you right now sign up an account, use the highest link below, you will be able to get an insane 100,000 US dollar deposit bonus. So if you're interested in trading, check it out on the Blofin exchange in the link description of today's video. Then further on, we are currently seeing that the spot Bitcoin ETF is seeing some slight little outflows here, over $250 million, with BlackRock selling over about $22 million, and all the other issuers as well selling a lot of Bitcoins. So that is pretty interesting to see here, because actually, if we're looking back at the times where we do see major inflows and whenever we see major outflows, actually every single time whenever we have seen major outflows, it has marked the bottom, and every single time we have seen major inflows, it has marked the top here. So just for your information, this is actually a very interesting metrics I have used to, of course, start to see what I think about the market. Because basically, of course, it's not directly BlackRock who's buying, but of course, they're clients that are buying it, and BlackRock is facilitating it for him. So yeah, very interesting. Then talking about Ethereum, we are sitting on this legendary support line, which I stated earlier in the video as well here. I do believe it's looking quite good here. And on the 2-month time frame, guys, we're just creating a major consolidation phase, which is literally ready to be popping anytime soon here. And if you're just looking at Ethereum also on this chart, compare it back to our 2020/2021, guys, it looks just very similar. And of course, we do know that Trump and his Liberty Finance company is, of course, buying a lot of Ethereum, and that just also makes myself extremely excited. I mean, the Bitcoin dominance is sitting at a high not seen in over 4 years right now here, and yeah, that just also ultimately gives us the opportunity to, of course, look at this market and potentially see, okay, here are the opportunities, and this is what I want to be benefiting from. And if altcoin season really is going to be happening, guys, you have to understand how massive and how much money there will be printed, because now, of course, there's totally not been an altcoin season, but whenever it does come, there will be an insane amount of money be printed, and that is just, of course, where I am looking forward towards here. So still no altcoin season, but of course, the timing isn't necessarily all too much off right now here. So yeah, this was it for me in today's video, guys. If you did enjoy it, learn something from it, don't forget to once again slap that like button on today's video, and I'll see you guys back tomorrow on another update one. See you there. Peace out. Goodbye.